What do you think of when someone says FNAF? You might have said animatronics, Purple Guy, Law, MatPat, and others. But we're not talking about that today. For my Halloween video this year, I'm going to be talking about FNAF bosses. Now, first of all, what is a FNAF boss? Well, here is my list of what a FNAF boss should be. Number 1, they're on one of the last few nights of the game. Number 2, not all the time, but most of the time, they should share the same mechanics as the previous characters but harder. And number 3, they should be the only or one of the only ones to appear that night. Oh, and by the way, no security breach bosses and fan game bosses are allowed. Now, let's begin. All of these characters basically act the same with a few differences, so I will just talk about them all at once. Nightmare Fredbear replaces every character on the 5th night and at 4 to 5 AM on the 6th night, but he's a lot harder to deal with than the other characters. You have to close the doors he's at if you hear his laugh at a certain door and shine your light at him if he's on your bed. Nightmare shows up on nights 7 and 8 at 4 and 5 AM, and he does the same things. A Nightmare Fredbear, but just harder. And Night Marion is just a reskin of Nightmare for the Halloween update. With FNAF 4 out of the way, let's go to the next game. The rat and cat show up on the 6th night and share the mechanics as the previous characters, like glitching the cameras like the penguin and climbing through vents like Chester. And all you have to do is turn off the phones on the cameras to make them go away. Yeah, that's it. I know this video will be pretty short, so let's just go to the next game. Monster Vinny is a harder version of Monster Rat, with the only difference being his movement. He moves in a more unpredictable pattern, gives you less time to react to him, and moves from one room to another. Yeah, that's it. Before I talk about Shadow Candy, I need to talk about the way to go to the night he's on. If you go to the gallery and go to the rat and zoom into him, after a little bit of time, the screen will turn red and the rat's face will start to shake while numbers pop up on the screen. Then the rat stops shaking and then text appears that says Cam 13. And those numbers from earlier are used in the custom night menu. And it will be random every time, just so you know. After a quick jump scare, the night begins. Shadow Candy will stay on cam 13 and will move to another cam from time to time. If he moves to a cam that's not outside your office, go to that camera and turn on night vision to make him go back to cam 13. If they appear on a cam outside your office, then close the door before it's too late. And if he does get in, then he won't kill you, but he will get rid of your power and set back 1 hour on your run. If you lose all your power, he kills you. The only way to get your power back is find the origami cat that normally stays in your office on one of cameras. That's all I have to say. Let's move on to the next game. So first is our Glass, who is a combination of every toon, besides Face and Undying, and acts like every other character aside from Disembodied, but he is harder to deal with. And Mother, who is like our Glass. But as the night goes on, she becomes a new character called Mick. You also have to deal with Face as well, because he's not under her control. Now let's talk about the last game on this list. So basically, at one point, she will jump scare you. And when that happens, a red warning sign will be outside either the front door or the 2 windows. That red sign represents her. If she shows up at the door, then you have to flash your light back and forth until she leaves. And if she shows up at the windows, you must close the curtains until she goes away. When you're fully maxed out on sleep assurance, you have to run back to your bedroom. From there, you play a game where you spray water at her and at these mushrooms so they don't damage you. And you keep going until you win. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you want to see more of my content, then click that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to not miss a video. And if you liked this video, then please consider clicking the like button. And I'm going to go now, bye.